Welcome to our YouTube Christmas celebration. Seems like an odd thing to say, YouTube Christmas celebration, because we know what our Christmas celebration here at Messiah looks like. We have a children's program, and then we have some hot chocolate and coffee. Then comes a wonderful concert created by our choir and other musicians from the congregation. And then the late service with candles lit and carols sung and a packed house. But that's not what's going to happen this year. Oh, we wanted to. We were trying to figure out a way to get 50 people come 4 times in the afternoon. And then, of course, things got different. And so we have what might be seen as an odd sort of Christmas. A Christmas when people don't gather together the way they used to. But oddness is at the heart of the Christmas story. We've read it so many times that we come to take it for granted. Like, of course, this is the way it's supposed to be played out. But if you get back to the original and you think about those characters and you think about those places, you recognize how weird this whole thing is. The couple involved in the story is from a far-off little village called Nazareth. They're betrothed, but not yet married, and almost married, and they have this expected child, which isn't theirs, but it is theirs, and they're going to take care of it. And somehow God is involved in all of this. And one would think that if God wanted to be involved in sort of the human story and it was to be a significant birth, he would show up in a palace among royalty. It would be Herod's daughter or Herod's son who would be responsible. But no, it's this couple from up north, Joseph and Mary, a carpenter and his beloved. And then there's a census, and so this pregnant woman, 9 months pregnant, has to travel to the town from which Joseph originally came. And it's not a significant town. It's the outskirts of Jerusalem. It's Bethlehem, about 6 miles away. Doesn't take long to get between the two, but it isn't the place. Jerusalem is where the temple is. Jerusalem is where the headquarters are. Jerusalem is where royalty lives. Wouldn't you think? But no, God decides to do it here. And then when the birth does arrive, it happens in a cattle stall, in the place where the animals normally hang out, because the guest room was full or the inn was closed, however you want to describe that. The place they should have given birth didn't happen. And then the people who first heard about it were the dirty shepherds from the hill country who watched over the sheep that were probably going to be sacrificed in the temple. It's just a bunch of strange things come together. And in the midst of it, God shows up in human form, in flesh and blood, as a sign of God's intention to live in our messy world, to experience our messiness, to understand our experience for God's very self. It's an odd story. It's a strange story. But it is the story of Christmas, the story of God's encounter with humanity through this particular moment. So as we celebrate an odd sort of Christmas, perhaps by ourselves at home or with a very small group of people gathered together, perhaps as we remember and think about all those times we have been in larger gatherings with more people, we hope that you enjoy that which has been created for you. That's we had pulled together to tell the story, to sing the songs, and to remind ourselves of what God is all about in the midst of this particular moment, in this particular place. So a few words about the service itself. Some thanks. There are 7 readers involved in the service today, each of them members of our congregation, some of them living close to the church and others far away, but we invited them to participate because, of course, we're doing this all on video. So our readers include Cole Scott, Carlene Dardis, Brenda Carrier, Kellen Woolheiser, Cindy Lutz, Aidan Schalk, and Marie Emmons. And we thank them for reading the lessons today. Worship leaders include Tracy Teich and Clara Ritter. And then the musicians, you'll see as the music comes along, and you'll get the chance to recognize those from our own congregation who have provided some music for us. The videos that go along with the music that was recorded from members of the congregation was created by our very talented Jen Ritter, who has been doing these music videos for us since we began the COVID worship style. And finally, to Mark Wagner, who is putting the production together and whose work is always wonderfully done. So enjoy this evening or this morning's or whenever you watch. Enjoy it again and again. A Merry Christmas to you and a blessed New Year to your family as well.